third and fourth, couple of tenths slower than Marc Marquez is going. That is the fastest ever race lap we've seen around Motorland Aragon, but as Matt mentioned, only a tenth of a second faster than Alex Marquez, who, as McKenny said on the grid before the race, has just got to try and keep the pressure on his older brother. He got clear of Bastianini and Rins. Bezzecchi dropped down into the 47s on the last lap, back in 15th place. So we are now finally starting to see the pace that we knew Bezzecchi had from the sprint yesterday, but he is 9 seconds off the race lead, and surely a top 10 is the maximum that Bezzecchi can hope for today. This is the tail end of the top 10, with Mir, Quartararo and Viñales battling for that 8th place, and Viñales once again showing the pace that he's got. He was also setting personal best last time around, which has brought him right onto the tail of Quartararo and Mir.
Viñales trying to pick up some of that slipstream on that rapid KTM. Fair play to Quartararo, he's brilliant on the brakes. This looks like, as a contest, the race is over because Marc Marquez is really turning the screw here. 147.180, that is now successive fastest laps of the Grand Prix of the astonishing 2019 season, where every race he finished, he didn't finish lower than second place. 3 laps in a row now, laps 8, 9 and 10. Marc Marquez has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He has checked out. He has cleared off into the distance. This is now a race for second. There is Zarco then walking away from his crash when he was in a very lowly 13th.
Yeah, Alex Marquez just was ever so slightly hot there into turn 1, but he was able to gather it up and still carry enough speed through turn 2. But Pecco Bagnaia sniffs second place here, and certainly if you'd offered him that at the end of the sprint yesterday, he would have bitten.
Was coming from behind him. Yeah, Acosta may be stopping through 16 and 17, because with that hard foot tyre, as good as he will be in terms of straight up and down braking, he just won't have the edge grip. He won't have the turning of those on the medium directly ahead of him. That will be something to consider in this Grand Prix. Late 46s. What a lap that is on 11 lap old tyres. 46.879. Oh, Binder! Binder's gone down. Binder slides out of contention then as the tyres start to wear on this slippery, greasy Aragon surface. That's his crew chief there, Andres Madrid, who is sort of a very sort of cool and collected character, isn't he, Andres? He's absolutely raging. Binder then tips off going through turn 3, out of P5.
Well, we just wondered a lap or two ago whether the KTMs were struggling just to match this pace up ahead. Binder ultimately just losing touch, and ultimately losing touch with the racetrack through turn 3. New fastest lap on a 46.8, but Morbidelli's grip on 5th place is about to be loosened completely.
Oh, Fabio Quartararo's taken a tumble. Quartararo's down at the first corner. That is now going to be a 3rd successive DNF for the Frenchman, who was cruelly denied a nailed-on certain victory at Silverstone with that damaged ride height device. Tipping off, that's going to be a front-end washout, isn't it? We're moving into the second half of this Grand Prix, where front tyre wear clearly is going to be a big... We're coming into the latter stage of this Aragon Grand Prix, where those tyres are going to start turning to putty, aren't they? Down the hill we go. The Gian Antonio, Mir going aggressively on the inside into turn 14. Nice move that by Joan Mir. So that pushes him now up into P7.
He's got 3.5 seconds up to Morbidelli, who has recovered from that lap which saw him drop back into the clutches of Aldeguer. Morbidelli's back down in the low 47s now, as Gian Antonio underlines the shortcomings of the Honda right now. We've been hearing it all through the winter, haven't we? That Honda is a much more rider-friendly motorcycle, but it's just not a match for the Ducatis in a straight line. Yeah, and I think Mir running in aggressively hot on the inside of Didier into 14. It really just sort of compromises rhythm going through 15 as well. Marco Bezzecchi's finally got himself up inside the top 10. And now he's doing a pretty respectable pace in the mid-47s. It's taken him time to find his rhythm. It's taken his time to get going in this Grand Prix. But Bez potentially rescuing a top 10 from 20th on the grid. Gian Antonio, of course, was one of those riders yesterday who raced the medium rear in the sprint and was hoping that it was going to give him a genuine advantage. We're not really seeing it, though, are we, at this stage, as Mir once again makes a move. This one, though, should be able to stick up the inside of Didier, and it's also opening the door for Maverick Viñales, who says thank you very much, and Gian Antonio loses 2 places.
Yeah, good ride this by Mir as he goes charging in hot into the reverse corkscrew, and Viñales got sucked into that one as well, didn't he? Down the hill into that
break as late as Frankie Morbidelli. You can see how hard Morbidelli's pushing to try and keep the rookie at bay. That's going to be a bold move as Aldeguer attacks into turn 13 and he catches Morbidelli out.
Yeah, you know that Morbidelli was not going to give it up without an almighty fight. Bagnaia now has slipped 0.8 of a second as Morbidelli goes on the inside of Aldeguer. They rub knees, they rub elbows. Oh, this is all happening at nearly 350 kilometres an hour. Who's going to win the game of dare on the brakes at the end of the back straight? It's Morbidelli. Is he going to run it a little bit hot though? Can Aldeguer cut to a tighter inside line? Two of the most uncompromising riders in MotoGP right now. Alex has definitely broken Bagnaia. Alex Marquez is in the 46s for the first time in this Grand Prix. He's broken now nearly a second clear out of Bagnaia, who surely now is not going to take any big risks. He's 2.5 seconds up the road from Acosta, but he's been beaten in the last two Grand Prix in Le Mans and in Silverstone. But the response has been emphatic, to say the least.
Yeah, this was Betseki's move that we just joined in progress on board at the inside of turn 15. Beautiful move onto Gian Antonio, who looks like he's running out of grip here. He's continuing to lap in the 148. There are a number of riders up ahead of him who are lapping a second lap quicker at this stage than Digia is going, who might well yet find himself out of the top 10 if he's not careful in the 6 previous MotoGP wins. Of course, he had to wait.
Down. Oh, Pedro Acosta's gone down. Pedro Acosta, so the two factory KTMs. Oh, it's Vinales. Yeah, it's so difficult, isn't it, with the Red Bull sponsorship on the helmets and the leathers. It's Maverick Vinales. Apologies to the heart rates of Pedro Acosta fans who are watching at home.
Went early.
Turn 12. Maverick Vinales slips down the road. Just look how quick the response was from the marshals. Brilliant work, as always, from them. So he was just trying to go late on with Mia. I tell you what, full credit to Bagnaia. He's giving everything to try and wrestle that second place away from Alex.
8th place, he might yet catch Joan Mir on the final lap. He took half a second out of him on the last lap. He can continue to catch at that rate. He'll be with the Honda rider on the final lap.
Yeah, and Rins might be rescuing a top 10 here as well. He's had stunning late race pace as the factory Yamaha rider. He's only 1.2 seconds behind Raul Fernandez as Aldeguer charges through on Morbidelli on the brakes into turn 12. That has been coming. He's been lining up that move now for 2 or 3 laps. Frankie ain't going to take this one lying down, though, is he? He's going to try and pounce straight back into turn 15. Oh, surely they rub. They go side by side once again. Oh! Elbow to elbow, knee to knee. There was big contact there, wasn't there? They started going through the gearbox. You're going to be over 200 kilometres an hour at that point as they start charging up through the gears. Big contact between Aldeguer and Morbidelli. Look at that. A rub from Morbidelli's front tyre. And there we go. That's the second